It looks like every major car maker is currently working on a small unibody pickup that would compete with the Maverick. Chevrolet, Ram, and Toyota are just some of the companies that are expected to join the segment in the near future. But what about GMC, Chevy's sister company that has always been famous for rugged SUVs and trucks? Well, this company has a perfect moniker for a new small pickup, and that's why we're eager to share with you everything we know about GMC releasing a 25K Ford Maverick Challenger. First, performance-oriented pickup. It may not seem like a big deal today, but back in 1991, launching a pickup like the GMC Cyclone was a brave move. GMC decided to offer something never seen before, a performance-oriented pickup. Although such trucks are pretty common these days, the Cyclone was the first of that kind, a true pioneer. The company cooperated with Production Automotive Services and outsourced many parts, including a turbocharger, which was provided by Mitsubishi and coupled with GM's well-known 4.3-liter V6. Such a combination was enough to provide impressive performance. The truck was able to hit 60 in just 4.3 seconds and complete a quarter mile in less than 13.5 seconds. Those were impressive numbers back in that day. The Cyclone wasn't just the fastest pickup around, it was comparable with sports cars of the time. It was so impressive that car and driver decided to do a comparison test with, listen to this, a Ferrari 348. The engine was rated at 280 horsepower and 350 pound-feet of torque, and it was coupled with a 4-speed automatic transmission that sends power to all wheels. Instead of an old-school off-road oriented 4x4, the Cyclone featured a modern all-wheel drive system that sends 35% of the power to the front and 65% to the rear wheels. Unfortunately, such an amazing pickup was produced for only 1 year. In 1981, the company produced nearly 3,000 units and they were all black. A year later, only 3 units were produced, and then the model faced discontinuation. What would the new GMC Cyclone look like? Impressive performances and very limited production made this pickup even more exclusive, so from a logical standpoint, reactivating this nameplate makes perfect sense. However, it looks like GMC plans to play with its reputation and offer a different pickup than the original. These are the times of small unibody pickups, and the company might use the legendary nameplate just to boost sales. If that's the case, then GMC would rather offer a compact pickup than a high-performance ute. The new model would be designed to compete with the Ford Maverick, and it's pretty much sure that many parts would be shared with Chevy's unibody pickup, which is also expected in the near future. Some sources speculate about the Montana, which is already sold in South America, but we're rather thinking of something bigger and more serious. Design. So let's start with the base design characteristics. The first thing to talk about is the platform. The South American market Chevy Montana rides on a GEM platform, and since this acronym stands for Global Emerging Markets, we're pretty sure that GMC would use something more serious for the way more demanding North American market. One of the possibilities is the E2 platform, the one that underpins the GMC Terrain. The other possibility would be C1, or maybe the VSSF architecture. Both of these platforms allow the accommodation of bigger, more capable powertrains, as well as more advanced tech features. History could repeat itself, so the new Cyclone could once again share a lot of parts with the Chevy Blazer. But these are different times and the Blazer is not what it used to be. Therefore, the Cyclone wouldn't be what it used to be either. Instead of a rugged layout, we would expect to see a modern unibody pickup by all standards. Unibody platform, refined design, and smooth ride are just some of the key requirements the new Cyclone will have to meet. As for the exterior design, a single cab layout of the original wouldn't have much chance for success these days. Instead, a passenger-friendly crew cab layout is what we expect, in a combination with a short but still quite practical cargo bed. Aesthetics are still a bit of a mystery, but we don't expect to see significant surprises. We expect to see the new Cyclone to follow the brand's latest design philosophy, which is characterized by bold and muscular design with quite conventional overall execution. After all, that's what the most recent digital rendering suggests, a design that strongly resembles models like the Yukon and Sierra. Interior. As we've just mentioned, the new GMC Cyclone would come with one radical difference. Compared to the old model, which was offered in a single cab layout, the new one would come as a crew cab pickup. Simply put, these are the segment standards established by the Ford Maverick and Hyundai Santa Cruz, but in general, people don't seem to like single cab pickups very much anymore. These days, it's possible to find such pickups only in the full-size segment, while already mid-size pickups usually come exclusively in crew and extended cab layouts. So, the new Cyclone would be able to accommodate up to 5 passengers, and besides space, we expect this cabin to look modern and attractive. Of course, it wouldn't look as fancy as in some GMC SUVs because the goal is to make a pickup with an attractive sticker price, something comparable to other models in its class. Still, the use of low-rent materials doesn't have to mean poor build quality, as well as a lack of modern tech and safety features. High-performance Cyclone seems natural. We've finally come to the most interesting aspect of the pickup. The original was a genuine street racer with a capable turbocharged engine, suspension upgrades, and a striking black finish. The new model, on the other hand, would be a little bit different. It would be more of an all-around player, but that doesn't mean that there's no chance to see a dedicated performance version. That model will also feature stiffer suspension and other upgrades just like the original. And for the engine, we think that the new 2.7-liter Turbo 4 might be the right choice. It already powers a variety of Chevy and GMC pickups, including the new Colorado, where it puts out around 310 horsepower, which seems like an appropriate power output for a dedicated performance-oriented version. Of course, many things will depend on the platform and its ability to accommodate different powertrain options. We already talked about the Montana-based design, and the reason why we don't believe in such a scenario is quite simple. Chevy's pickup for South America is way underpowered, as the only powertrain option is a small 3-cylinder engine with a little bit over 130 horsepower. GMC would need something way more capable for the North American market, so we're thinking of a couple of familiar units, starting from the familiar 2-liter Turbo 4, which puts out around 230 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque. The engine seems like a perfect measure for a pickup like this, but the company could also offer something smaller for the most basic variants to make them more affordable. That could be a 1.5-liter Turbo 4 with 170 horsepower found in the GMC Terrain and Chevy Equinox. No matter the engine choice, a 9-speed automatic transmission in combination with standard front-wheel drive and available all-wheel drive seems like a safe pick. Off-road-oriented Cyclone? Could happen. The old Cyclone was anything but an off-roader. It was a genuine street racer with low ground clearance and stiff suspension, which made it comparable with sports cars at the time. From that perspective, making an off-roader from the new version would be a kind of sacrilege. Still, if you look at the current market, every pickup has a dedicated off-roader in its lineup. Even the Maverick is available with a Tremor off-road package, which includes a 1-inch suspension lift, locking differential, and other upgrades. So it would be hard to imagine the new Cyclone without a comparable version. A version that combines increased ground clearance with standard all-wheel drive and a few more pieces of off-road hardware, such as locking differential, skid plates, and all-terrain tires. If that happens, we presume it would carry an AT4 or AT4X badge, just like the rest of the off-roaders in GMC's lineup. Towing and payload capacity. Due to a lack of information, it's still early for estimations in this aspect. We still don't know the platform or the engine option, so it's hard to make any estimations. Still, we may presume that GMC would tend to match rivals in this aspect, or maybe offer even more. For reference, the Maverick can tow up to 4,000, while the Santa Cruz is good for up to 5,000, so we presume GMC engineers know their goals very well. The same thing is with the payload capacity. Ford's pickup can haul up to 1,500 pounds, while Hyundai's pickup offers up to around 1,700 pounds of the max payload capacity. Release date and price. The best words to describe the revival of the GMC Cyclone are lack of information, so there are just two possibilities. One is that GMC officials are so good at keeping details a secret, while the other is that the new Cyclone is nothing more than a rumor. If we can refer to the unofficial reports, the new GMC Cyclone could arrive sometime in 2024 or 2025. As for the price, we would expect base versions to go around $25,000. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.